My name is Maurits, I'm 29 years old. I live here on Scheveningen and I founded my own company Buchung, which is German for booking, because it's a booking system that we built initially for sailing schools that organize sailing camps for youth and adults. But the end goal is to build a booking system especially for operators that organize activities or events like multi-day activities, group tours, that kind of stuff, to make it easy for them to receive their bookings, but also help them in the operations and on the marketing side. So that's my company. I have been at sailing schools all my life, and you have many sailing schools in the Netherlands and they organize these youth camps. So during summertime or holidays, parents, they bring their children to a sailing school, and I was just such a child. Then you have an amazing week, you go sailing, you meet new people. And at a certain time I became an instructor at my own sailing school, and then I also became like the manager of the sailing school at a certain point during my studies. And it was really nice to organize those weeks, but it was like a hell on the computer side to to plan all, to retrieve the bookings. We were struggling like with WooCommerce to hack around it, to be able to make it fit for the kind of products that we were selling. So I've been looking everywhere for like a solution that would fit a business like a sailing school, and at the end I couldn't find anything, so I thought, okay, I can build this myself, so let's do it. So I started building it at first just for my own sailing school, because the owner there said, I believe in it and I can be your first launching customer, so that was really nice. And at a certain point there became more sailing schools. They said, oh, that sounds interesting what you're building, I think that can benefit us as well. And that's how we've been growing. So first sailing schools, and then now we are doing surfing schools as well. Well, I always say that it is like we are building a booking system for companies that sell activities, and that is really different from traditional e-commerce and also really different from ticketing solutions, because people always say, oh, but can they use just like Shopify, it already exists, or WooCommerce, or can't they use Eventbrite or something like that? But these kind of events that our customers are organizing, they are way harder, because like a sailing camp, you have to have enough instructors, you have to have the right boats, the right amount of beds, then you also have like 100, 150 people attending different kinds of activities at the same time. So those traditional systems for e-commerce or ticketing, they don't fit a business like that. And I think that's what most people underestimate, how hard it is to fit all these variables into one system, and that it really is a problem that we are solving. Ooh. I don't know if it's something that broke, but it was an assumption I made very early on that broke very soon. It is that I thought like, okay, we are gonna be like the infrastructure, like we have the database and we model the data right, and then we build a booking system because that's what our customers need. But then for like email marketing or CRM or other kind of stuff, there are already existing tools, so we just integrate with them through APIs, and then our customers use us as the booking system, but the data can flow between systems. And very soon that thought of mine broke, because our customers are not waiting to have like 4 or 5 different tools. They want everything integrated in one platform. And as a technical person myself, I always thought, okay, but those other tools, they are way better at this single task than we can ever build ourselves at this stage. But then I also learned that our customers don't want that perfect tool that does 100% of the job. It just needs to do 80% right. And if we can integrate that or build it ourselves in our product, they are way more happy than having to integrate, juggling with API keys and that kind of stuff. So that was an assumption that definitely broke very soon. Ooh, many. I think one of the lessons I really had is like that from the beginning you have to have like the right structure in starting your company. I think that was something I didn't really thought about at the beginning. So I wouldn't say I was naive, but I was just starting this company. I had this other, I had the owner of the sailing school I was working with, and he was enthusiastic about it. So we started the company together. And then at a later point I started realizing, okay, but I want to gain capital to enable our growth. And then I also learned that the way we set up our company initially was not the right fit for attracting investors. So we had to rebuild it and had to go to like lawyers to rewrite the structure of the company. And that cost like a lot of money and also a lot of time. So if I had to do it again, like from the start on, gather enough information in what is the ideal structure from the start to set up your company in a way that will also be beneficial like in the future, even if you don't need it at this time already. But I think that definitely would be a lesson I will give myself doing it again. I run the company myself full-time, so I'm the solo founder, but I have a few working students that work with me. Some of them do that at our office here in The Hague, but some of them also do it remote. Like we have one student in the east part of the Netherlands and also one who's in Finland. But here in The Hague I have my own office at The Hague Tech, which is a co-working space, which has been really nice for me because especially if you're founding a company by yourself and you're sitting at home all day, that can quickly become very depressive. So it's nice to speak with other entrepreneurs, but also other people to talk about your problems, how have they been solving stuff, also meeting nice people who might be able to arrange something for you. And so yeah, I would really recommend people who are starting a company, especially alone or like remote, join a co-working space. That has really helped me. I think many people didn't realize at the start because, okay, we are a booking system and that also comes with a lot of complex problems because at the start you just start writing a system for gathering bookings and then you maybe need to cancel a booking, something like that. But pretty soon there came hard questions like, can we rebook someone to another location and other kind of stuff? And that a lot of it was just going into the database ourselves and manually adjusting everything that the customers were emailing to us, while at the same time trying to come up with a UI or an automated way to do stuff. But that, like in the early days, a lot of things that seemed automatic to our customers, it was actually manual work for us on our side. So yeah, at the start there were already complex problems. We couldn't build everything at once, and I don't think I would have written that in the pitch deck at the time. I don't think it's really like a setback, but I think the hardest thing still in building our startup is like getting the right business model. I believe, of course, and I also hear back from customers that we deliver a lot of value to the company because a lot of time is not spent anymore on being behind the computer, but can be actually spent on organizing the best event possible. But it's very hard to put a price tag on it. So we've been experimenting a lot, from fixed prices to commission-based working to other kinds of models. And I think it's always hard to come up with the right model. So we are still struggling with that and getting a lot of feedback. And then you also have, like, most of our customers are Dutch at the moment, and Dutch people really don't like commissions at all. But then from a business perspective, it's a really nice way to express the value that you're giving to the company. Yeah, it's also interesting because you have a lot of talks about it with the customers. But it's a hard problem, and also one that you really need to reach out to other entrepreneurs about, like, how do you solve this? Because that has given me lots of insights as well for our own business model, how to model it in the right way.